Nobody wants hidden costs in their projects. That's why when we're budgeting for software, we got to think of 4 different types of budgeting. We have building, maintenance, operating, and remodeling costs. All 4 of those need to go into the bigger picture over the life cycle of your project. One of the things that really gets forgotten a lot on budgeting for software projects is maintenance. So time to debug and verify systems. And I brought some extra paperwork here today because I wanted to make sure that I got this right. There was an article in American Computing Machinery, which is the professional organization for software engineering and computer science, called The Debugging Mindset by Devon. In it, he cites 2 other works that talk about the cost of time and money for debugging and maintenance of your system. So he says software developers spend 35 to 50% of their time debugging and verifying that systems are doing what they're supposed to do. And then he goes on to talk about the budget for that, which ends up being 50 to 75% of the monetary budget of a project. That's a tremendous amount. So here at Binary Noggin, we do a few things to try to minimize that. One is pair programming. We always work together. That's where Binary Noggin comes from. 2 heads. Binary is 2, Noggin is head, right? So 2 heads are often better than 1. That includes whenever we work together. So what happens is you have 2 developers working on one thing at a time. They get to take all of their own experiences and their shared experiences and build upon that together to recognize bugs before they happen. This will reduce the long-term effort. It's simpler to find a bug when you're in the code and you're in that section than later on when a bug happens and you have to figure out exactly what happened. When a user reports a bug, you need to take the time to work your way through what was their story, how did they get here, where is this happening in the system, and go find it. And it's much harder later on. The second thing that we do is we do code reviews. So after those developers push that code out, somebody else has to look at it before it ends up in production. Sometimes that's 2 people, sometimes that's 1 person. It really depends on the project, but they take the time to take one last look through the code, make sure that it meets the coding standards that we have set forth for the project, and gets one last chance to maybe see some of those bugs and reduce that overall long-term cost to the project. Also, part of what we really want to do is in that upfront build is add in some monitoring capability that allows us to find these things faster. Some tracing, we call it telemetry. So we can look at data in the system and the path of things going through the system and give ourselves a better chance of finding things a lot faster and reducing this debugging maintenance. Let's take an analogy with maintenance is thinking about your home or your car. Maintenance is ongoing. We really often think about it mostly with our car. Ongoing maintenance covers oil changes and tire changes and things like that. And then the debugging part of this maintenance cost is whenever something breaks in your car, something unexpected. It's not ongoing maintenance that you think is going to happen, but it still has a cost on your car. A lot of people don't think about it whenever they're purchasing a car, but there are enough people that do that you can actually go out on the internet and look up what is the overall cost over the lifetime of a car and get an average of what it's going to cost you maintenance-wise to own that car. With software, we've got to think about those things. And unfortunately, we don't have a whole bunch of things to compare to because I don't have 5 million Toyotas out there that I can look at their maintenance costs. So we just have to go on all these different cars, all these different pieces of software in our past experiences to try to give a little bit of an estimate. But that's why we use that 50 to 75% of the cost of the lifetime. We love building software and planning to build software. It's really exciting to us. So if you have any questions or thoughts, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to help you or give you some pointers along the way.